Okay, welcome back guys and girls. Another update. Just showing my toolbox here, one of my drawers. I do go over the top and overboard with the type of equipment and tools that I have because I never know what's going to be thrown at me. So I need as much as possible. And then yeah, I do spend a lot of money on this equipment. And I do try to be as versatile as possible when it comes to approaching jobs. And it's one of these things that I spend a lot of money on. So I'll have crimpers, more crimpers, bits and pieces for breakdowns and new types of connectors. It's just the way that we are faced with situations in employment, okay? Surgeons don't have to buy the tools, mechanics do. I try to go for high quality whenever I can. Through night is one of those head torches here, and I do actually get things to try out, which is a bonus. It actually helps me at work for paying for things or saving money, or just being able to manage. So through night stuff, I've had this a little while, not bad. I use that every single day. Okay, we're very dependent on power in a workshop environment, which really at the end of the day is high tech. We have shit equipment which we're supplied, and then we buy stuff which is better for our own usage. So that torch is rather crap. Now back at home, okay, for the garden pallets, which I'm going to start rolling out a production line soon. The boy, my son Eugene, he gets involved sometimes when I can drag him out of his away from his mates. Yeah, he's managed to knock down a pallet for me, and this was an experiment. First of all, what I'm trying to do is capture as much of the sun as I can, and it does lay in a certain way. Okay, so yeah, you need tools, basic simple tools for jobs like this, and we're trying to salvage as much as possible. Went out and bought a crowbar set. Okay, I keep losing these at work because they're one of these desirable things that can be nicked and taken home, can't they? Yeah, multiple uses, you know what I mean, just in case. But one of these is to strip pallets down and remove the nails in one way or another. Okay, they're a pain in the backside to try to strip, and you do really only get about 20 or 30% good wood. But what resources you can get out of it, it's free stuff, and it's very, very abundant. So it's a resource we can use. Okay, so yeah, young man here is using a bit of his what would we say, problem solving, to try and knock out nails and panels without damaging them, and he did quite a good job, I must admit, and he was very thorough. I think he's a chip off the old block, actually. Yeah, well, actually, no, because I'm quite rough. But yeah, things like nails and wood and stuff like that, they're all really, really useful. Even if it's only knocked together roughshod and temporary, it's better than having to spend a lot of money on something, okay? So yeah, we got him to do some work today and done really well. Now, the plan here is to build some racking to have things grow upwards and catch as much of the sun as possible, because the neighbour's fence on the left hand side, as you see it on the video, it blocks a lot of the sun. You remove that, there's a lot of sun. So what we need to do actually is put everything in sunshine. Okay, so yeah, this is a bit of a pallet knocked down with some Dexian. Okay, I'll also put a shelf on top here because that will capture the sun, and I can use that practically. But generally, yeah, that's what this will be, and I'm just experimenting with this at the moment to see how these seeds will grow, and I'm getting a bit behind here, and things are not growing as much as they should do. So you can see the Dexian here, which is staked into the ground. Yeah, that's all screwed in so the wind doesn't blow it off, just in case we get some windy weather. Okay, so this is what I'm doing at the moment. It will change. Okay, I like using screws and such like, and the Dexian's quite weak. It started to bend when I hammered it, so screwing into it can be undone very, very quickly. Actually, I'll just take that knife off there. It's a resource. A resource is a resource at the end of the day. Whatever you can get in abundance, you use, don't you? So we've got plenty of pallet wood now. And I've got to do something with this fence because next door, yeah, he's a bit slow on fixing things. Did the path. Okay, this is what it was like a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely stony and crap. I've now shrunk it a little bit. Put some sandbags in there just to shore it up. But this is about the space I've got. And I've got to be careful that if we get high winds and the fence falls over, it doesn't damage anything here, okay? So the idea really is to roll out some racks. Okay, so that will be plenty of labour, and I think the investment of £13 into a couple of jemmy bars is good, because after it's been used for pulling nails out, it can be used for something else. And of course, hammers are always handy, aren't they? Whatever we do, we will always revert back to using a hammer sometime, won't we? Yeah. So yeah, I'm resource stripping at the moment and getting labour to do it. Okay. So that's basically it for what I was doing this weekend over the bank holiday. This is Bank Holiday Monday, plus moving this box, which we managed to scavenge. This will have tomatoes in it. I'm going to fill this up with earth and then grow some tomatoes in here and have them grow up the fence and away from the fence. So like I say, if it blows over, it won't cause us too much of a problem. Yeah. Now I did have an issue actually, bird strike on some of these, and none of these grew. Had very little. All of them were planted mainly with runner beans and tomatoes. A lot of labour in doing this, a little bit of tender care and all that, and nothing much grew. I got 2 tomato plants and about 4 runner beans. Okay, 2 of these are actually growing quite nicely, as you can see here. Out of 20 seeds which I bought, they're Mr. Fothergills or something. These 2 are sprouting, and my mum said put some toilet rolls over them so they'll reach up to the light. So I'm trying that to see if they can grow quicker. Yeah, the better success I had was with the seeds that I stripped out of a butternut squash. They're fairly fresh seeds. Let them dry out. I think that's what you're supposed to do with all seeds. What seeds that you can eat, you keep, don't you? And the others you plant, don't you? And then you can eat them. But these are sprouting. Look at this. These are sprouting, which is I'm chuffed with this. Actually, after the failure of the other seeds, which some of them actually went a bit rotten, this is actually quite good. This is a result. Also, the spinach, yeah, that's smashing out pretty good. So what I've done is taken that lawnmower grass tray, and do another pot with it. I'm keeping everything off the soil just in case we need to scarper. And then this rack, these little tomato plants, well, I'm disappointed with this. It's getting late now, so I've gone out and bought some. Yes, I'm cheating a little bit. I'm buying stuff now, which was about £1.49 each. Hopefully they will take. Okay, so I bought 6, I think, in total for about £8. So this is what I've done now. Okay, in the pram here, yeah, which is everything has been prepared with fertiliser and good soil and peat-free compost as well. Plus I got a free tray from the shop, which is a seeding tray, isn't it? That'll be useful. Like I say, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm making it up as I go along, and I'm getting a little bits of success. Okay, so I learned a little trick here off YouTube. Use egg shells for potting with the egg trays as well. Those are French beans in there. The garlic's done really well. It's really, really good on some of them. Now, what I've learnt here is that they should really sprout first before you plant them, like this. And I'm sure you found garlic in your kitchen that grows like this. This is the time to plant them. Whereas these ones, I've just put the cloves in and nothing much has happened. But when I dug one of these up, I thought they'd failed. The roots are actually growing. So they are growing, but very, very slowly. Okay, but the other ones, yeah, they're trundling along there quite nicely, so I'm chuffed with that. That's good. And outside the lawn here, I'll just show you this massive bush here. It is a bush, and I stripped that back down again. What's behind it is a tree, and I'm trying to get more daylight into the window actually. But what was happening, there were some parasitic bushes that were strangling the tree, and they've threaded themselves all the way through the branches. Okay, it's not symbiotic, I don't think, because you can see how much daylight there isn't there. So I've cut them all out, stripped them all out, and there was an ornamental bush which was rather nasty. It's rather prickly, and I think this is an oriental bush. So yeah, I spent a whole day stripping out and cutting back down. There's some nice soil in the drain there which I'm going to use. And I've planted a couple of things, put the tree, apple tree, and then I've also got black currant bush, which I planted. I don't know if it's going to take or not. Yeah, so you can see that was £6. It would be nice to have a lot of soft fruit that we can access. Yeah, so we'll see. And of course I stripped the bushes and got some canes out of it. This might come okay for planting, so I'm just using the resources around me, what I can use, and that's what it is all about. So like I say, I don't really know what I'm doing, and this is a one stage. This is the stay in, but I also have the runaway, just if things really do get bad, then we do have bags packed. But we're preparing to hunker down at the moment and weather what we've got coming, which you already know we're going to have food shortages, don't you? So yeah, we'll have to see how this goes, because the weather isn't actually warm. The colder it is, the less plants are going to grow. So we might have to change our mind and put a greenhouse in here yet. Don't know about that, but we'll see.